Ryan Reaves recently came out in an interview and said that he's excited to play for the Leafs and that everything that happened in last year's playoffs won't happen while he's around. This is obviously a very big need for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but are they done, and are they done for the season is our main question. We'll be asking a question of that in this video, but before we get into it, we noticed that 97% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, so if you want to look for a place, find all the breaking news about your favorite team and across the league, you're in the right spot. Make sure to stay a while, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the major news this upcoming season. But like I said in the intro there, Ryan Reaves recently came out in an interview and said, I hope he tries that. It would be interesting, wouldn't it? That'd be fun. I doubt there's going to be any of that here. He's talking about when the Radko Gudas situation last year's playoffs, celebrating in front of the net. That's obviously a major thing that will be taken down, we'll say, in the Leafs series and games this year with Ryan Reaves there. That's obviously what he's there for. That's the only reason. They're not getting him to score goals. They're not getting him to put up points. He's there for that specific reason, which is obviously a huge fit for the Toronto Maple Leafs, a huge need. But do you think they're done making moves? Is a real question we're going to ask here, because they made a lot of good moves. The team obviously did get better. Nobody can deny that. Adding Max Domi, adding Tyler Bertuzzi, and adding Ryan Reaves for his reasoning alone, that's a big addition. But Nick, do you think the Maple Leafs are done making moves this year, and do you think they've made enough if they haven't?
I think the team is really good. I think you're going to have to see them play first, but I really like the additions up on forward of Bertuzzi and Domi. It definitely gives them a factor that they didn't have last year. They have that those guys that are gritty that you can put on the top six. Both of those guys can be on the top six, and they can play in the bottom six too. They played all around the lineup in their careers, especially Max Domi. He's been everywhere the last couple of years. But I don't think they're done, because if you want to just throw up that fourth line there again, you've got Ryan Reaves on that. Like, as you were talking about Ryan Reaves, you've got him. He's not going to play 82 games in the year. It's just not going to happen. Dylan Gambrell might not play. He might play 60, maybe. It depends on how he plays. You never know what's going to happen with this team. There could be injuries and all that stuff. And the defense as well. The defense it got a little better offensively, but that's not going to be their final defense. Their defense is going to get a little bit better. Their offense, their top six is going to get better. Not top six, sorry. The bottom six is going to get better during the regular season and into the trade deadline. So no, I don't think they're done at all, but they did definitely get better this offseason.
I am in agreement with you on that one. I don't think the Leafs are done. I'd say they're done for the offseason, they're done for now. But this is going to be a very big trade deadline for the Maple Leafs. They did get Matthews extended. That was probably the biggest concern of this team, that extended their window by a long term. But I think that the main thing that they're going to be keeping an eye on this year is the goaltending. The goaltending is not great. It's not bad by any means, I will say that. But it's not a goaltending core that you see on Stanley Cup winning teams. Ilya Samsonov, I don't know if he's a starter. They have Martin Jones and Joseph Wall. I don't think any of these guys are at this point are good enough to go to a deep playoff run. So I think throughout the season they'll be keeping an eye on some of the goalies that are being made available. Some of the goalies that maybe have been good the past few seasons, haven't been great this year, but kind of get some hope that they'll turn it around if they go to the Leafs. And I think they're just going to be keeping an eye on every goaltending situation around the league. We have a name just off the top of my head here. Marc-Andre Fleury is on the final year of his contract with the Minnesota Wild. I don't see him going anywhere. I don't think he's going to be traded. But if the Leafs, are in desperate need of a goalie, maybe Marc-Andre Fleury is the option that they need. Someone that is just, got a goalie tandem that basically probably going to split games be like 60-40. That could be an option for the Toronto Maple Leafs, I don't think at this point they're putting anything behind them.
I would personally go with more of a Connor Hellebuck type guy. Marc-Andre Fleury is on the tail end of his career, obviously, and he's a legend. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame, but Marc-Andre Fleury is not the same as he used to be. We all know that. You watch Marc-Andre Fleury play, he'll have a great game one game, but then the next game he'll let in 7 or 8 goals on 5 shots. That doesn't make any sense, but neither does his play sometimes. So, anyways, I would be more inclined to say a guy like Connor Hellebuck would be someone they're looking at. They're probably going to keep an eye on the Winnipeg situation. They've got a lot of guys over there that just came in from the Pierre-Luc Dubois trade. They've got a lot of guys that are possibly on the way out. They've just named a new captain, Adam Lowry. But Mark Scheifele, Connor Hellebuck are a couple names that we don't know what's going to happen there. If Ilya Samsonov, like you said, I agree, he's very shaky at times, and I don't know if he can go on a long playoff run. Connor Hellebuck has been on a long playoff run. He's been he's a Vezina Trophy winner. He's been a finalist a few times. He's a guy that he can shut the door when it needs to happen. So I would be more inclined to say the Leafs might make a move for Hellebuck if Samsonov ends up being a little bit more shaky than they expected.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. Hellebuck's a very good option. Another option that we might see, we've been hearing some rumors around this summer and at the end of last season. Also, another cheaper option is Carter Hart. It's a guy that he needs a new location. I gotta say this. I don't think he should be with Philly very much longer. He's so good in the World Juniors, good in Junior, but in the NHL, he just kind of didn't live up to what he was supposed to be. So I think a change of scenery is needed for Carter Hart, and maybe the Toronto Maple Leafs is that fit. We don't really know right now. I think this really all does depend on Ilya Samsonov. It's what he does throughout the season, more so leading up to the trade deadline. Because after that, if they don't make a move for a goalie and he's been a bit shaky, I'm not going to say that the Leafs are going to go in a deep playoff run. They don't fit the agenda.
Sometimes you can tell when a goalie's got, he was good in Junior, but he had a really good team in front of him, blah, 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 all that stuff. And then you can see when they get to the NHL, it doesn't work out because maybe they don't have the talent and it was just like a flash in the pan kind of thing. You can see with Carter Hart, he's got the talent. And he's shown that he can play at an NHL level. I mean, he went in the bubble in 2020. He arguably outplayed Carey Price in that series. I think he did outplay Carey Price in that series against Montreal. So I think the guy has the talent. He's just never had that good of a team in front of him that's been able to perform at the highest level. If you give him a team like the Toronto Maple Leafs who can score a lot of goals for him, now the Leafs do have to upgrade their defense a little bit, but they definitely have a better defense than the Philadelphia Flyers have ever had in front of Carter Hart. So that's something that I'm glad you pointed that out. I would actually like to see that.
Yeah, goaltending, a few more defense, but other than that, the Leafs trade deadline will probably just look like a few pieces plugging in here and there that need to be able to round this team out. Even with the additions they made this offseason, I do think they need to add just a few things more, but they did obviously get a lot better than what they did last season. Much a better offense. The bottom six, like you said, mainly the bottom line. We don't really know how that's going to work out yet, assuming that these guys don't play a full season together, but we'll see what happens with the Toronto Maple Leafs. At the end of the day, I think they're not done. There's no way they can be done. I don't think anybody should really feel confident in a Stanley Cup with that roster, but they're close. I'll say this again. I said it last year. They're close. They'll be close for as long as they really keep this core. They'll be close. But let us know down below in the comments what you think the Leafs should do. Maybe they need a goalie. Maybe they need a defenseman. They need to play another bottom six player. Let us know. Want to hear what you guys have to think about this situation. But that's all we got. If you did like the video, make sure to like it and also make sure to subscribe. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you don't want to miss any breaking news from around the league or your favorite team. But that's all we got. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and see you later.